Hello and good evening from St. Louis Park High School. I'm Bruce Over along with Phil Firk. And tonight we have North Suburban Conference basketball as the St. Louis Park Orioles take on the St. Francis Fighting Saints. Both teams with pretty good records this season. St. Louis Park 12-3 overall, and for St. Francis 11-4 overall. After an 11-0 start, St. Francis has lost 4 straight games, but the reason they lost 4 games is they had a couple players on the injury list and stuff, and they are back tonight, so it should be a good contest.
I think it'll be an excellent contest tonight. You know, one of the things that coaches worry about is teams that come in with the 4 losses in a row. They're mad, they're angry, and they want to take out a little revenge, whereas Park, 6 in a row, they're trying to hang on to that undefeated conference. So it should be a very good basketball game.
Balance.
Right now they're announcing some of the youth players out on the court.
Bowden. And Eden Williams. And now for the 7th grade team, coached by Coach Whitlock. First, Cyree Mayfield. Jacob Stillman.
Good opportunity for some of the youth players that'll be coming up in the future at St. Louis Park to get that opportunity, Phil.
Well, this is what, you build your programs around the youth program, junior high and traveling. And so if you don't have those kind of teams in your community, it's very difficult to be successful. So this is what every school has to do, have these youth programs to be successful.
Well, and for the St. Louis Park Orioles, they are coming off a win 81-40 against North Branch, probably one of their more one-sided wins of the season. And so hopefully that carries into this game. St. Louis Park beating Spring Lake Park. That was a great game, 78-64. So if we look right now, Phil, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game winning streak for them.
Starting lineups in alternating order. First for the 11-4 Fighting Saints of St. Francis.
So now for starting lineups.
Junior guard, Austin Carlson.
Austin Carlson, a junior guard, averaging 9.5 points per game.
3 St. Louis Park Orioles. 5'10" senior guard, Kashif Hayes.
And there's Kashif. And again, St. Louis Park all seniors. Kashif averaging 16 points per game.
Guard, Cody Ball. And for the Orioles of St. Louis Park,
Cody Walls averages 7.8 points per game. Makai Moore for the Orioles. He comes in averaging 6.7 points per game.
Forward Jake Johnson.
Leading scorer for St. Francis, number 25, Jake Johnson, averaging 16.3 points per game. And for the Orioles, Marshall Cullen had a good season, averaging 6.2 points per game. Bryce Gilbertson for St. Francis, averaging 3 points per game. And
senior forward DJ Pollard.
Yeah, DJ Pollard, leading scorer on the Orioles, with 17.5 points per game.
Junior forward Nate Seville.
Nate Seville
and for the St. Louis Park Orioles,
averages 8 points per game. And Zach Gilbert Burke, who played a very good game that we saw against Spring Lake Park, and he comes in averaging 5.2 points per game.
Well, that last game against Spring Lake Park, I thought that Zach Gilbert Burke and Bonds were the 2 key players in that game as far as getting putbacks, rebounding, and they're going to need a big effort from those 2 gentlemen tonight.
Head coach of the St. Louis Park Orioles, Dave Breitenbucher, and for the St. Francis Fighting Saints, it is Ryan Hoagie. Hoagie in his 5th year as a head coach. So Jake Johnson, 6'7", tallest player on the floor. See how St. Louis Park matches up against Jake.
And Jake is, as you say, their leading scorer, so we know they'll, try to go inside as much as they possibly can. We haven't had a chance to see St. Francis play this year, so we really don't know a lot about their perimeter game.
Pretty good crowd here Friday night.
Well, with Park's record, it is we expect a good crowd.
Jake gets the tip, and the Fighting Saints have it in the front court. Austin.
Park starting out in their regular man-to-man defense like they normally do.
Cody Wald was guarded by Kashif Hayes. Here's Jake Johnson, drives down the lane. Good defense by Zach Gilbert Burke, forcing him back out. Now the long shot by Wald doesn't go, and the rebound was taken down by Burke. Gilbert Burke. Here comes Kashif into the front court for the Orioles.
Kashif got in foul trouble the last ball game early and had to sit out quite a while, so hopefully he'll be able to stay in this ball game.
The three missed by Cullen, and the rebound was pulled down by Jake Johnson. There's a drive to the basket, and we get a jump ball on that one. So go to St. Louis Park. We'll get it on the alternate possession as Austin Carlson put that one up. And
when we were coaching girls basketball back in the day, when that happened, we had to get a ladder out to get the ball. No one could jump to the rim.
DJ Cullen, now Kashif. That's what by Kashif follows up, gets his rebound, keeps it alive. Cullen driving down the lane, a little too hard on that one, and the rebound was taken by Gilbertson. Still 0-0 the score in the first half here. Jake Johnson on Gilbert Burke out for, that was Bryce Gilbertson. Here's a traveling. Almost looked like a couple open opportunities for threes, but St. Francis was passing them up. Yep.
Well, they probably know who their they do obviously know who their three-point shooters are, and they're trying to get the ball to those people. Hayes, Park has had a couple opportunities to go inside here tonight. They've just been a little bit off.
Mackay with the first 2 points of the game. Wald takes it along the baseline, passes it across. That was Seville. They work it around pretty quickly. Here's Johnson missing. Calling with the rebound, and here's Kashif into the front court.
Park is running a nice patient offense here. Just take some time. Make the defense work and slide. And then
Kashif misses that one. That was the spot he was warming up. Exact same spot where he was prior to the game, where he kept shooting. There's a nice spin move by Jake Johnson, getting his first 2 points of the game. We're tied up at 2 apiece. DJ losing it in the front court. Now another turnover. This one against Austin Carlson. Gives the ball back to the Orioles. Here's Mackay Moore, guarded by Bryce Gilbertson. Back out to Kashif, and the Orioles will set things up here on offense.
Both teams are pretty equal in size. They both pretty much have the same idea: drive the ball to the basket, hope to get to the free throw line. And both teams are cold.
Well, you saw the inside was plugged up, so they passed back out. Cullen missing the shot. Cody Wald took it all the way in, got back up top. Now this is Carlson. Seville back up top to Carlson. Guarded by Pollard, gets by Pollard for a second. Gilbert Burke did a good job to double team him. They get an offensive foul.
Nice job by Park getting in there, getting their foot on the baseline and taking the charge. That's what you want those guys to do, is try to get straight up, don't move, and you get that nice call.
And of course, the guy you'd like to get in foul trouble if you're St. Louis Park is Jake Johnson.
That's right.
Good move by Pollard.
Park has run that play. That's our signature play, just having Pollard hand off like a fake handoff like a quarterback and then drive to the basket.
Also, it's a good move driving on Johnson, because if Johnson picks up his second foul, it probably is going to be out of the game. So
that's exactly what Park should be thinking of right now, is go after him.
There's a nice pass inside to the cutting Gilbertson.
And Gilbertson was pretty much alone. He had his way in the lane that time.
Back up top. Orioles very patient right now. Inside the lane. Kashif in and out.
Well, Kashif has had every shot tonight. Layups, short jumpers, and long jumpers. Well, there was a push-off.
Closer to Marino, ready to check in. Johnson makes a two-pointer.
It's a nice play by Johnson, being able to just sort of give himself a little bit of spacing.
Now Kashif open again, and he hits this one.
Hey!
Big shot when you missed a few in a row to get your confidence going.
Right, good shooters don't quit shooting. They keep right after it.
Kashif is going to get called for a charge.
You know, Kashif is playing a little bit different tonight than he was last week, because he's forcing the play a little bit right now. Whereas last week he let the game come to him, especially when he was in foul trouble.
Number 5, Andrew Johnson.
There's some wholesale changes here for Park.
Andrew Johnson replacing Hayes. We got Bond in. Also in is Cook.
Park is able to go about 8 or 9 deep, and this is a nice lineup that they have in here for a change of pace. A lot of teams can't match this when you put in wholesale subs like this.
Inside a little too hard, put up that time by Blake Marino. And now the Orioles into the front court. PJ, this is a shot. Johnson did a good job to keep it alive. And it's out of bounds. It's going to go to the Fighting Saints. So we're tied here at 6 with 11:44 to go here in the first half.
A nice defensive anticipation by Pollard. He knew that ball had to be reversed and just sort of opened up that lane, let the player think he could make the pass, then stepped in. A great play. Park right now is starting to play some passing lanes. Bond just did the same thing, so I think you're going to see a little more aggressiveness out of this defensive unit, which is just what the coach wants.
Austin Carlson, Jake Johnson.
Number 3, Austin Carlson. Carlson steps back, takes a 3, doesn't go, and a foul underneath on the Orioles. I think Charlie Cook.
I think that was a questionable call, Bruce. It could have gone very easily the other way.
Inside, DJ Pollard did a good job to defend. Now Pollard comes up and we'll get a foul called on St. Francis.
Park is looking to get into a transition game, a running game if they can. They just haven't been able to quite get going, but that was a great opportunity.
Inside, Bond.
We'll see if they want to go in against Johnson right now. Bonds is the one to do it.
Nice spin, and is he travel though?
And he had the right idea.
Yeah.
He knows he traveled.
A little smirk on his face.
But that's exactly the strategy that you want to use right now, is go after Johnson if you can.
That was Johnson who deflected the ball. Bond tips it back out, goes into the hands of Nelson. It was a nice move there.
Johnson.
Jake Johnson, good job.
Well, you can see why they think a lot of Johnson. He's got beautiful hands, nice soft touch.
Pollard's getting tripped up a little bit, having trouble staying on his feet. And again, that's Gabe Nelson picking up his second.
Gabe Nelson, his second.
So I think Nelson will get replaced.
Into the game for the Fighting
Cody
Saints.
Wald will come in.
Hello. Into the game for the Orioles, Makai Moore.
And Makai Moore back into the game for the St. Louis Park Orioles. He replaces Marshall Cullen. 9:52 right now, 8-8 the score. Much lower scoring game than the last one we did, Phil.
Absolutely.
Spring Lake Park. There's Kashif is open for the three, and he hits it.
That's what Park has been waiting for. Take your time, 5-6 passes, penetrate the ball, kick back out to your three-point shooters. Perfect play.
Nice pass inside, and the basket by Marino.
I think Marino was standing in that lane for quite a while. He was wide open.
Ball on the sideline, last touch by St. Francis. So St. Louis Park will get it, leading 11-10. Leading scorer for the Orioles is Kashif Hayes with 5 points. He has 5 of the Orioles' 11. Andrew Johnson. Now Cook takes it in, and the shot goes.
Cook, again, is their unsung player. He can do so much, and he's a good shot. It was a nice play.
Biggest lead of the game for the Orioles at 3. And here's Kashif on a break. Changed speeds that time and then picked it back up again.
That was a big league play. Kept great body balance, went in, changed hands, double clutched, and scored. Just what the coach wants them. This way they teach that.
So the Orioles taking a 5-point lead. Ryan Hoggy says he's seen enough and calls the timeout.
Well, again, Johnson picked up that first foul real early in the game, and they haven't really attacked him again. And I kind of think maybe during this timeout, if they get Bond, if he's back in the ball game, just what he tried to do it last time, but travel, but continue to do that, I think would be a good strategy.
St. Louis Park's next game will be January 29th at Totino Grace. And then a couple road games coming up. Then that following next Friday night could be a big game as St. Louis Park plays at Robbinsdale Cooper. And if St. Louis Park were to win their next 2 games, and Cooper right now is undefeated in conference, that could be the big matchup.
Well, don't forget Columbia Heights in there, 5-1, so it's a good race.
Travel, not what you want to see coming out of a timeout if you're Coach Hoggy.
Well, Andrew Johnson pressed him a little bit and made him turn the way he did not want to turn. Good job. This is when teams want to make a run. You got it by 5 points. Just continue, attack the basket.
They're getting those bounces.
Getting the St. Louis Park roll tonight.
Drive to the basket, and we get a foul on Mackay Moore.
Moore, his first, team's fourth. The foul to shoot 2.
So Nate Seville missing the first front end of the free throw. Here's the second one off the mark again. And now the Orioles leading by 7. Andrew Johnson has an open lane.
Andrew
Good
saw
clear
that
out.
little opening, absolutely, and they made a nice shot. Just what you want.
19-10, Orioles with the lead. Taken inside, and Zach Gilbert Burke with the stuff.
Sometimes that was a good intimidating block. Hopefully, or you'll see that they maybe won't want to try to do that again.
There's a good cut inside.
Cody Wall, that was a great backdoor cut and a wonderful pass. That was textbook basketball, Bruce. Well, here we saw the Gophers go against the 1-3-1. We'll see how Park can do. And that's just exactly what you wanted, to drive the ball right to the free throw line, then make some decisions from there.
There's a battle for the ball between Andrew Johnson and Cody Wall, and jump ball. This will go to
Takes ball on the possession arrow.
That was a nice move by Coach Breitenbucher to change up his defenses, especially go to an odd defense, which you don't see very often. It's a 1-3-1, but it certainly can mess your team up.
Andrew Johnson out, Cullen in now. So St. Louis Park with their starting 5 on the floor.
Austin Carlson.
Mackay Moore did a good job not to get the charge, but Gilbert Burke missing the backside rebound. Yeah, good position, Phil, just didn't get it to go.
I thought Mackay was going to do a call for a charge down there, but his body balance was good.
There's a nice rebound by Kashif, good outlet, and DJ takes it all the way in. DJ could have either passed it or taken it.
Well, you're coming down 2-on-1. You really have to make that defender make some decisions, and he just kept the ball, made it real simple.
Spin move to the basket by Marino, and he draws the foul.
Foul on Zach Gilbert Burke. His first.
So Gilbert Burke picks up his first foul of the game. For St. Louis Park, that's 5 team fouls, and Marino will be shooting 2.
Park loves to get in that running game if they can, coming down like this last time, 2-on-1, and make the game pretty simple.
And for the Saints, Ben Monnier.
DJ Pollard with the 3 off the mark, and the rebound taken down by Jake Johnson. Here comes the Fighting Saints into the front court. Cody. Back out for Seville. Seville penetrates in, loses the ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Orioles.
White ball.
Moore played a nice defensive stand on that one, just able to stay in front of him, knock the ball out of bounds.
Another traveling call. Quite a few turnovers by St. Francis in this game, Phil.
There are a lot of turnovers, but you know, they're turnovers where players are trying to get an advantage going to the basket on that first step. Now we'll see how Park plays this against. Looks like, you know, again, back into a 1-3-1. It's not a trapping 1-3-1. Well, when Hayes feels it, you got to step out and deny him the ball. In fact, the best way to do it is don't let him touch the ball. Kashif just stole the ball.
Pass behind Cullen that time.
He'd like to pull that one back. He had the right idea, but just got a little over anxious.
Charlie Cook for Mackay Moore.
So Charlie Cook comes in, replacing Mackay Moore at the 4:11 mark, 26-15 the score. Blake Marino back in.
Blake Moreno. And Bryce.
The Park has four league games left, and it looks like 2 of them, one against Cooper and one against Columbia Heights. So they, out of the 4 games, 2 of them are against top caliber opponents.
So they can, you know, have a good shot to control their destiny if they want to win this conference. Long pass for Kashif. Does a good job catching up with it.
That was a wonderful assist. Another backdoor cut. Park's been beat on that twice now. Overplay on the wing and then go backdoor. They're going to have to think about that a little bit.
One thing that's been impressive so far in this first half is just the way the Orioles move the ball, Phil. They have really not turned the ball over too much, and Kashif picks up the foul, so he'll go to the line shooting 3.
Against a zone like this, Bruce, if you can reverse the ball, swing the ball at least twice, you're going to get that defensive out of position. Kashif is just a little anxious on his shot. 1 pass, 1 shot usually is not the best offense that you want to do here. But sometimes you can't, you know, a player's feeling it like he is right now. You don't want to tell him not to shoot. You just have to think about making good decisions, use the clock, use the score.
Well, Kashif averages 16 points a game, and if he makes this one, he'll be at 15 here in the first half. So.
Well, we saw him that first night. Was it against Apple Valley? I think he had 33. That's probably his high scoring for the season. And he went into a slump a little bit, but I think he's feeling it tonight.
And Kashif gets a round of applause as he gets replaced by Andrew Johnson.
Good, thanks.
Nice pass inside, and Marino with the basket. Back to 12-point lead for St. Louis Park. Pollard. DJ makes it look so easy there. He just floats into the lane.
He's got such a beautiful jump shot, especially off the elbow. It's just effortless.
Spin move inside. Doesn't go, and Gilbert Burke fights for the rebound and finally pulls it down. Great opportunity, though, missed by Moreno as he got inside for the layup. Right now, St. Francis feels getting inside, but they're just not getting some of those shots.
St. Francis went back to their man-to-man defense. Pollard is just absolutely sweet tonight, silky smooth.
Well, this is what the Orioles have fed on over the last year or two, you know, with DJ Pollard and Kashif Hayes sort of stealing the show, but you're seeing really just great movement, great ball movement to get these players open. And that time, DJ Pollard is able to create his own shot, too.
Well, not only create his own shot, but as we say, the passer made the shooter in this case. put the ball right on his shoulders. All he had to do was catch, turn, and lift. And that was a beautiful play.
Really a great half of basketball for St. Louis Park.
Well, Park has been shooting well tonight. They've been rebounding especially well on the defensive end. St. Francis has really not been able to get a second shot.
Well, interesting too is they're not posting Jake Johnson inside, but they are able to get those inside baskets. If you look at where their baskets are coming from, most of them are inside the paint.
They are, and 3 of them were on backdoor cuts on this right side. Again, Park is using their bench too, because there's hardly any let off when they sub in. They're able to just hold their own. In fact, maybe even defensively they play a little harder, which is what you like to see that.
Well, and you look at the St. Louis Park roster and some of the guys that are pretty, have contributed in the past, like Sam Brimacone and Grant Donald. They haven't really had an opportunity to play because the Orioles can go so deep and they have such a talented group of seniors on the team.
Absolutely, they sure do. Special group, really.
The rebound by Moreno is put back in.
Ball.
Gone under 2 minutes remaining here in the first half, and Cook's going to let it go for 3. And the inside
There
rebound
again,
position
I will go back to my old saying, time score situation, a minute 40, up by 14 points. Hang on to the basketball.
Gilbert Burke holding on to Johnson that time. Could have been called for a foul. Spin move by Moreno. TJ Pollard just standing there, gets called for the foul.
So I'll go back to that quick shot on the other end. That's really hurt Park right now because he'll come up and score 2 free throws off of this, when Park still could be handling the basketball.
16 foul for the Orioles. Taylor Cope comes into the game now.
So it'll be interesting to see how Park plays this now with 1:24 left in the first half.
And they take another 3 right away.
Park was lucky on this last possession. We'll see what happens here.
Cody Wald. Gilbert Burke fighting for the rebound, and now he pick up a foul.
Park just has to play a little smarter with the minute and a half left in the half. The other team's going to the free throw line twice now.
Right now, the free throws are helping St. Louis Park. St. Francis is struggling from the line.
For the Fighting Saints, Austin Carlson for Taylor Cope.
So Austin Carlson checks back into the game, replacing Taylor Cope. And now 50 seconds to go,
We'll see
DJ
if they
Pollard.
slow this thing down a little bit. Park really just needs one good shot at the end.
Gilbert Burke way short on that one, but now gets a cutting down the lane. Andrew Johnson did a good job feeding him the ball after getting that rebound. 14-point Oriole lead, 25 seconds, almost stripped. Cody Wald. And the tip controlled by the Orioles. Here's Cullen. Can take it back out instead of taking it to the hoop, but Takes it all the way.
And Johnson backed off. Yep.
And the 3 in and out.
Your St. Louis Park Orioles, 39. St. Francis fighting
Well,
St.
Phil, you mentioned, do you hold it? Do you not hold it? And I suppose there's a couple theories there. One is, if you've got the momentum here in this half, and you can continue to thrive, because who knows if the momentum changes in the second half? Do you continue to go with it, or as you mentioned, do you just hold back? I mean,
I really think that in this case, with 14-point lead with 1 minute and 51 seconds, yes, the ball is gold. Hang on to it. Park committed 2 fouls in the last minute and a half, which can hurt them in the end of the ball game as well.
Sure.
So I'm not saying you don't shoot the ball. If you have good shots, you shoot it. But on the other hand, you just don't want to force that shot. Use the clock. It could be your best friend. Great first half, though. Park looked good. 39 points is a nice first half for them.
and defensively holding St. Francis to 23 points.
Well, yes, and Johnson hasn't really been an effective player for them. Especially when he's out on the perimeter, he hasn't been able to, attack the basket. If they can find him underneath in the paint, he can do damage.
So we're at halftime here at St. Louis Park. 39-23 our score. Stay with us. We'll have more basketball coming up shortly.
You could choose to join a gang. You could try the latest drugs. You could even choose to drop out of school. You can try to avoid the difficulties in life with a quick fix, or you can face them head on. She did. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
Bruce Over along with Phil Frick. We're at halftime here from St. Louis Park with Orioles leading 39-23, 16-point lead. And for the Orioles, Cullen will inbound the ball. The Orioles will have first possession here in the half. And Kashif driving in, misses a shot, and he's still getting up from the back end. So 5-on-4 here, and Kashif finally makes it back.
Well, lucky that wall was back there for Kashif, because he was going to slide all the way to Hopkins, it looked like. Wow.
He had a lot of momentum.
He did. Well, he went right after the basket. I mean, right now. Shows you how aggressive he is.
Gabe
St.
Nelson.
Francis is looking for that backdoor cut again. That was successful in the first half.
Ball tipped out of bounds. DJ Pollard had good defensive position that time on Moreno. Moreno's a pretty big body that gets inside too, Phil.
Right. And a couple times they've been able to get him the ball inside.
Good defense by Pollard. Looked real quick to see if we get it to Kashif this time. Makai Moore couldn't take it in as he tried to take it in, but Johnson was there, and here's Cullen picking up the foul on the other end.
Well, Cullen got back on defense. It's just that he didn't have much of a chance to.
Got a lot of ball, but did get the arm.
Park had an opportunity at the other end. They just couldn't cash in on it. Well, the rebounds were pretty even in the first half. Park had 9 defensive rebounds. St. Francis 8. That's about as close as you can get. And their Park leads by 1, 4-3 on the offensive end.
Well, St. Francis struggled at the free throw line in the first half, but 2 free throws by Moreno cut the lead to 14. Oh, Makai looked like he was a fullback that time, carrying the loaf of bread.
Yes, he did. He used his body so nice. He could have charged there a little bit, but by able to get around him.
He had that ball tucked in too when he was going in there.
All those players now do that as they drive to the basket. They put the ball on their hip, hold it, take those steps, and then shoot, release it after that.
Fans weren't happy on the St. Francis side as Jake Johnson got called for the offensive foul.
Well, St. Francis putting just a token press on here, not much, but just enough to make Park think about it.
Floater by Kashif, just missed. Now Carlson on the other end. Had it deflected in the lane.
Well, we see what we got here, 2-on-1, right back at him. Oh, he traveled.
Yep. Well, that time the pass came back to DJ, but he was right underneath the basket, and so not much he could do with it.
And what happened there, Bruce, was they got a little tight, too close together on that. Both of them running down the middle. If they could have spread it just a little bit, they would have had a better opportunity to make that defensive player make a decision. Park is really playing tough defense. They're doubling down on Johnson, so he can't make that spin move that he made earlier in the game.
Well, we're not seeing St. Francis throw up many threes either, so everything seems to be working inside the lane, trying to get that inside basket. So
well, that's their big horse, you know, Johnson, and that's what they've been successful with, trying to get the ball into him.
There's a three put up, didn't go, and the rebound by the Orioles. Kashif, long outlet for Pollard. Actually, I thought it was pretty good defense that time by Carlson. But
well, Carlson did get the ball, but then it looked like he got a little leg along with it.
So second team foul of the half for St. Francis. And look, sneaking right in on that play was Gilbert Burke. You can't give him the inside position on that.
Johnson just went to sleep on that because Burke just stepped in front of him.
Well, that time the ball came right down to Jake Johnson underneath the basket. He put it in for his 9th point. Kashif taking that one a little early, and he draws the foul.
There's 2 of those tonight that he's been fouled on outside. I don't know if he was outside the three-point line or not, possibly.
I think this will be a 2-point or 2-shot.
But he's kind of learned how to, you know, fall down, I think, too, when he gets touched out there.
Saw in the Timberwolves game, Alexei Shved take one of those, but he kicked his legs out, and it looked like he drew the 3-point foul, but they call an offensive foul on him.
Well, they're clamping down on that type of thing. It's, you know, kind of a unsportsmanlike thing to do, but they all do it.
45-27, Orioles lead. St. Francis started off the season 11-0 on a 4-game losing streak. St. Louis Park on a 6-game win streak.
Well, I think he traveled down there, but maybe, what do you think? He looked like he used two different pivot foot, didn't he? Only an old coach would see that.
So now Kashif picks up his 2nd foul, and again, Blake Moreno will go to the line.
Into the game for the Saints, Cody Wald.
Cody Wald checks into the game. He replaces Nate Seville.
I don't know what their free throw percentage is, but it's they haven't been very successful.
Shooting right around 50% though.
Again, that was a nice, beautiful shot, a nice pass.
But it came off the screen that time. Nice jump shot. Jake Johnson, the 3 doesn't go.
Well, Park likes to push it down. Sometimes a little out of control, but
well, Kashif picking up the foul here. Cody Wald, his 2nd foul.
Team's 4th, Hayes to shoot 2.
18 points in the game for Kashif. 6 for 6 from the line. It was deflected by the Orioles. And a nice pass in, but it was blocked as Cullen came
He
storming
didn't know
in.
what happened that time. Johnson did a beautiful defensive job there.
And a traveling violation against St. Francis gives the ball back to the Orioles, who lead by 19 with 14 minutes to go here in regulation time.
Since Park got into their transition game a little bit, they've really kind of stretched this thing out, and that's probably what they do best if they can keep it under control.
Pollard likes that shot, but this time it's in and out.
Park is, they're getting good shots, no question about it.
There's Austin Carlson. Gave it back out, and a 3 hit by Gabe Nelson.
Timeout Saints.
So a timeout by the Fighting Saints as they cut the lead with the 3-pointer here. Colin just a little late getting out on that one.
I like the way Park, though, is really, when that shot went up, I was watching the other players, and they all did a nice box out. Had they missed a shot, Park was in position for the rebound. And so that fundamentally, Park is doing a really nice job tonight. Boxing out on rebounds, double teaming down low, paying passing lanes, and then transitioning the basketball. So this is a good game for Park at this point.
Again, the standings in the North Suburban Conference, St. Louis Park and Cooper are 6-0 in conference play. Columbia Heights 5-1, Spring Lake Park 4-2. Then you have Benilde, St. Margaret's, and Irondale at 3-3, and St. Francis 3-4. Phil, last week looked at the box score and noticed Benilde, St. Margaret's had 16 points against De La Salle in that game. That's got to be very tough for Coach
It's
Moore.
probably an all-time low for Benilde, but De La Salle is a very good basketball team, and of course Benilde is down a little bit this year, but Benilde, they don't quit. They'll come back.
Well, they came back to win their next game after that, so that was a nice.
Sometimes you need a wake-up call.
Right.
Saints ball.
Now tonight they say that St. Francis is back to full strength. Is that right?
They did, yes.
Oh, there's a. He shot that ball up from Edina. I think that was out of here.
So Carlson getting the 3. He has 9 in the game. Andrew Johnson.
St. Francis is trying to put a little pressure more on the perimeter people, keeping them out a little bit. But
TJ Pollard is getting a little breather right now. And Cullen missing the 3. Goaltend. Offensive goaltend.
No best.
That was a tough call because that may have gone in anyways. So
it may have, but it was laying on the rim from what we could see. Here we go. It's on the rim. Well, maybe it was hard to tell. That's one of those calls where one coach is happy, the other one's not happy. It's a 50-50 deal. But it was a great play by Johnson.
well, Cook and Bonds in the game now. Kashif drives in and draws a foul. Kashif very aggressive going to the basket.
Tonight he is. He's been to the free throw line a lot. Unfortunately, he's we won't jinx him, but I don't think he's missed.
Hayes to shoot 2.
Foul on Cody Wald, his third foul. 15 foul for St. Francis with 12:19 to go. And Kashif continues Got a good looking touch on that ball tonight.
Tonight he has. He's got it.
So Kashif with 20 points.
Nothing but net. Park has done a wonderful job tonight playing defense, deflecting balls, playing in passing lanes. The best I've seen them do this. Which means that off-ball players are anticipating the pass. That's what you're looking for. Charlie Cook came across, rotated, stopped the shot. It was a great defensive play.
Kashif drives in, misses a shot. Here's the steal. Here's Kashif. Nice pass. Back to Kashif. And the foul called against the big guy.
I don't think Kashif had a chance on that shot. I mean, it was sort of, from the very beginning, it looked like it was aborted.
Jake Johnson, though, picks up his third foul. So
Mark is really quick in the mid-court tonight, too. He stripped a lot of balls, going down transition, 2-on-1. Again, sometimes they might be just getting a little bit too close together.
well, Kashif hit a little metal on that one. There's a 2 put up by Bryce Gilbertson as his foot was on the line.
Charlie likes that corner shot. That last ball game, I think he hit about 4 of them off that off the side.
Well, Kashif went for the steal. He had the ball, but and off the leg of St. Francis.
You got to love St. Louis Park's defense right now. I mean, they are double teaming and going after very aggressive. As a result, St. Francis is not able to get the ball into their big man. The thing that's really impressive about Park right now is they're still playing an upbeat offense, moving the ball, nice spacing, attacking the basket.
Back up top, Kashif. Lost the ball inside, coming back is Austin Carlson. And a double dribble.
And that was because Park was able to get 3 defenders back on defense, caused that turnover.
Saints gave Nelson. Into the game for the Orioles, DJ Pollard for Kashif Hayes.
So 6 fouls. So St. Louis Park will be in the bonus on the next foul. DJ Pollard back in the game for the Orioles. And to Pollard, and he draws the foul, and this is on Johnson. That's number 4.
This is the kind of offense I think that Coach Breitenbucher has been looking for all year long, just making good decisions, taking your time, 5, 6, 7 passes, getting easy shots. No forced shots.
If you look at faces of some of these St. Francis players, are very frustrated.
Well, they expected to come over here and and have a battle, which everyone did, but Park just is a little out-quicking them tonight.
We've seen St. Louis Park against some of these teams that have been sort of, you could say, decent teams of mediocre in the North Suburban Conference, and Park's played to their level, hasn't really dominated. But in this game, they really seem to have full control of this basketball game at this point.
This is the kind of the season, though, you want, Bruce. You want these teams to start getting better with each game, and that's what Park has been doing right now. They're playing good opponents, Spring Lake Park, St. Francis, and they're getting better with each game. And
they're playing unselfish basketball, playing as a team. Turnaround by Bond misses.
Well, Bond got the ball where he wanted it. He just wasn't able to collect.
Bond says you're going to have to do it from the free throw line as Gabe Nelson drives in, and Bond with the foul.
Well, Bond first gave him a body blow and then went up and blocked the ball.
His second team's third. Nelson to shoot.
13 foul for the St. Louis Park Orioles. Second foul by Bond. Gabe Nelson knew right away when he released that one it wasn't good. Pressure put on now by St. Francis.
Coach has a lot of confidence in DJ Bond, bringing the ball down the floor. He's a good ball handler, good dribbler. Oh, Andrew just about lost the handle on that one, but was able to control it.
Van Pollard will go to the free throw line as Gabe Nelson picks up his fourth foul.
Fourth.
So St. Francis in foul trouble. St. Louis Park 14 of 14 from the free throw line.
It's as good as it gets.
And the three that time. That's Bryce Calser's first 3 points of the game.
Park is doing a nice job right now, just trying to decide on how they want to attack the basket, taking their time.
Timeout, Orioles.
The Orioles will take a timeout here.
It was a good timeout. Those Orioles weren't quite sure what coach wanted them to do, to take a little time, attack the basket, so this will be a good timeout for them to talk it over.
Scoring in the game so far for the St. Louis Park Orioles, Kashif Hayes has 23 points, DJ Pollard with 18. Next leading scorer for the Orioles is Charlie Cook has 5. 3 players with 4 points. That's Gilbert Burke, Mackay Moore, and Marshall Cullen. Andrew Johnson with 2. Jeffrey Bond has yet to score. For St. Francis, the leading scorer is Blake Marino with 11 points. And Austin Carlson has 9, and Jake Johnson with 9. I mentioned Jake Johnson, the leading scorer on this team, at 16.3 points per game. But he's seen some bench time now because he has his 4th foul. So. Orioles can take time off the clock now and force St. Francis to chase a little bit.
Well, St. Francis is kind of in a man or a zone. I mean, but they're not able to put a lot of ball pressure at this point.
Inside to Bond, and the foul on Gilbertson, his first.
We saw that a lot in the last ball game against Spring Lake Park. Bond being able to get the ball in the low post and slashing from the wing. So
and the streak ends with Bond. He struggled on a few free throws in the last game too.
Well, what is that, 15 out of 16 for Park? They'll buy that.
You know, we're seeing Moreno with some good penetration, but unable to finish. Colin on the other end gets the basket.
With a nice assist. That's what Park does best. If they can get that ball off the boards and get an open player, they can usually finish.
We saw a few of those open cuts to the basket in the first half, but Orioles did a better job there in the second half, not allowing, and until Marino made that last one.
Well, Park is using an offense now where they're making St. Francis come out and play them on the perimeter. Even the big post players come out and reverse the basketball. That's all you're looking for.
Johnson,
5-player motion.
Phil Johnson ready to check back in for St. Francis with 6.5 minutes to go, and
foul on Cody Wall. He's fourth.
Cody Wall picking up his fourth foul.
Park is doing just what you want them to do right now. They're just extending the floor, making good passes, good decisions, good spacing, making Spring Lake Park come out. Then they can attack the basket, get to the free throw line. Perfect strategy at this stage of the game.
Johnson, this is the second free throw, and it's a 20-point Oriole lead. DJ Pollard deflected the ball that was intended for Gabe Nelson, goes out of bounds. Orioles, or St. Francis, will have the basketball. Orioles still playing tough defense. And a good job by Cullen to come up with the steal.
Wonder how many steals Park has tonight. I mean, they have gotten in passing lanes so often. In fact, right from the beginning of the game, deflecting passes, intercepting. Now they're back into their sort of.
Just see the movement and the energy that St. Louis Park has had in this game.
The whole game. There's been no let up. Every player has come in and made a contribution. Not necessarily scoring, but defensively outstanding.
Good follow up by Pollard as he missed the shot but was able to get his own rebound, and now the Orioles will take it back out, take a little more time off of the clock. No bad pass that time by Cook.
Take the ball.
Nate Seville back into the game for St. Francis. Seville averages 8 points per game, has yet to score tonight. And the three by Gabe Nelson. Andrew Johnson into the corner for Cullen.
Well, Park is doing the right thing. They still have to attack the basket when it's there. That's his baby shot.
Pollard.
So Pollard with 20 points in the game.
thing I like about Park right now is even, you know, they're delaying the game, but they're taking good shots. They're not jacking it up from all over the floor. Just real high percentage shot. Is that DJ?
Oh, look at, I saw the Andrew Johnson was cutting.
Andrew just didn't quite have enough length on, but now there should.
An intentional foul call. We haven't seen too many of those.
No, we don't know if we've seen any. Well, Andrew really played this last minute. That's about as hard as you can play. Both ends of the floor. Good job, Andrew.
Will shoot the intentional free throw.
A 20-point lead for Park with about 4:09 left in the game.
So those are the few subs now.
And Andrew Johnson.
Grant Donald into the game. Also Marshawn Roundtree. Roundtree for Cook. Here's Donald.
Just kind of a figure-8 weave. Pop a player out to the point. You can reverse it or hit an open player or go back door. Nice offense.
Brimacombe ready to check in. Wide open.
That's what happens when you play this type of a delay game. The defense eventually just goes to sleep. Can't stay with it. Nice job.
So 69-47. It's been all St. Louis Park in this game. They've not let St. Francis back into the ball game. And we're down to 3 minutes and 17 to go. And probably a very frustrated Jake Johnson gets the basket. He now has 11 in the game and a timeout on the floor.
What does Johnson have in the second half? I think that might be his only basket.
2 points.
That's what I thought. Well, that's just a tribute to St. Louis Park defense. They've not allowed him to get the ball.
You know that, and he did get in foul trouble, so he did sit a little bit. But you're right, though. He's, you know, they've done a great job on Johnson in this game.
Well, he's, you know, for him to get the ball, he's had to go out on the perimeter, and he's not really a great perimeter player, so that's not his position. But he's been really stymied inside tonight.
And again, you know, you look at the tallest player for St. Louis Park is 6'5", and that's Zach Gilbert Burke. And, you know, at 6'7", Jake Johnson still has that major height advantage. But Torres have done a good job just to sort of keep him out of the
Well, I
flow.
think it really comes down to all of the players keeping the ball out of his hands, because it seems as though there's always a player down in front sort of denying him the ball, a smaller guard or a wing player stepping in. So he really hasn't had a chance tonight.
Well, it's sort of fun to watch just the movement of St. Louis Park on offense as they weave around and they move. There's always someone moving. They're moving to the ball. They're not just, it's not just a, you know, pass to a spot type of game. It's, you know, you see a lot of these offenses and, you know, just a slow down offense. But the Orioles are working. They're moving. They're going to spots.
This is a slow down offense, but it's an offense designed to score, as we saw that last time when they were able to attack the basket, get a layup. Brimacombe's in the game. We haven't seen him.
Right. Roundtree, Donald, back.
It's a tough offense to guard because they bring you out so high.
And they move quick.
And then go backside. This is wonderful.
They're moving quick, too. You see the fast footwork.
But they're looking for the backdoor cut.
Coach Breitenbucher's done really a great job coaching this team. You can just see.
Well, we've seen them get better with each game, and that's exactly what you want at this stage of the season. Give the coaches a lot of credit just for doing this. It's a long season, and kids get tired, coaches get tired. But right now, they're playing at the top of their game.
And
5 fouls on Gabe Nelson. So Colesrud will come into the game and Brimacombe to the line for the Orioles.
(70-49) with 2:40 left in the game.
86%, 19 of 22 from the free throw line for St. Louis Park. Donald with the tip. Right now the Fighting Saints having to work at a 3. That time Johnson was inside, could have taken it himself, but passed it out to try and get the 3-pointer, trailing by 21 points. Jeffrey Bond, Roundtree, Brimacombe, Grant Donald.
These players, wing players go to the free throw line and bounce out so they get open like Roundtree just did. You can't just run from the wing to the point. You have to make that V cut, and Park is doing that so well tonight. By doing that, you're getting some distance between your defender, you show your hand, and you can make an easy pass out of a hard play.
Well, Charlie Cook may have some blood on his arm, so.
Well, this is the first sophomore we've seen this year.
Nicholas Chose in the game. Chose, and he has it blocked.
Well, he pulled down a great rebound.
Mitch Wanker with the block. Long pass for Brimacombe. Donald takes it in and hits the basket. Nice move by Grant Donald.
Not only that, but he had Bond sitting there on the weak side, nobody guarding him, so he could have scored easily.
Almost a steal by Roundtree. Brimacombe long pass. He saw Roundtree breaking and it was intercepted.
It's like a tennis game right now. Put a net up in the middle.
That traveling called against the Fighting Saints.
Yeah. 15 love right now.
Can't get any breaks there. Down to 101, 72-49. St. Louis Park. Here's Brimacombe. Chose just got under the basket a little too much that time. There's a 3. Not good. Another 3 launched up. This one rolls out. And Bond with the rebound. Here comes Roundtree into the front court. Brimacombe, pass inside. And Chose was tied up.
Chose is working.
We should have a face-off there. Here's Chose again. Right off the backboard.
That brought a smile to the coach's face. He loved that one.
And the coach and the players are all up.
Well, Chose deserved that. He worked hard for that shot.
Here's Chose again. Oh.
The kids love this. Don't hurt the kid.
They may need him for a couple of years. They've got all seniors right now. You don't want to.
Well, Park finished the game the way you love to finish a game, with energy.
Well, again, it's, St. Francis, came in on a 4-game losing streak, but they have their players back, and so. This was a decent team that St. Louis Park was able to dominate. So as we look at, the competition for St. Louis Park, as they have their next game. They face Totino Grace, a game that they should be able to win against Totino Grace, and then Robbinsdale Cooper, and that could set up to be a very, very good basketball game for the Orioles.
Where is that game? Oh, it's at Cooper.
It's at Cooper.
So it'll be a tough place to play. I think, well, Park is up to it. Right now, they have to feel good. They had a good ball game tonight, and the energy is there. They're very positive about everything, and you can sort of see at the end of this game how they love each other.
I just think, and as we've seen St. Louis Park a number of times this season, this may have been just one of their best games that they've just played, because they just seem to dominate all around, play so hard. They seem to move. They never let up. You didn't see any runs against them. They played smart. They didn't turn the ball over that much in this game.
Not very much, but the thing that I was most impressed with was, again, their team defense, getting into passing lanes, anticipating the next pass, taking the center out of the game by fronting, the rotation on the defense. Everything there was perfect tonight. Not only that, but when they got deflections, they were able to get transition baskets and then get to the free throw line. So if you're going to draw up a game plan, that just starts on the defensive end, goes to the offense. When they did get down in their quarter court set, you saw towards the end of the game, they were able to move the ball, keep their spacing, and then attack, but they would control the game. It's a good game by Park.
And 45 points between Kashif Hayes and DJ Pollard, is Kashif with 23, Pollard 22, and Kashif sat out a little bit there in the fourth quarter and still had 23 points. So.
Well, you want your big guys to do that. They're going to carry you down the season, down the stretch like this at the end of the season. You want those top guys to continue to score, write their name in the scorebook before the game, that they're going to do so much and depend on it.
All right, Phil, so another one in the books here, but for St. Louis Park, they're now 7-0 in conference, 13-3 overall. For St. Francis, they fall to 11-5, 3-5 in conference. So
we're going to have to ask the coaches to check that out with the records to see the last time Park was 7-0 in the conference. I would imagine it goes back quite a few years.
And so an impressive start and a 7-game winning streak too for these St. Louis Park Orioles. So again, we want to thank everyone for joining us for tonight's game. On behalf of Phil Firk, I'm Bruce Hoberman saying so long here from St. Louis Park. Final score, the St. Louis Park Orioles 76, St. Francis 49.